If you clicked on this video, you might be confused about what it actually means to be a man. You have some people telling you that masculinity is toxic. You have some people telling you, oh, you should just be super emotional. And you hear all these differing opinions and it just confuses the out of you. So that's why in this video, we're going to be uncovering the 6 laws of masculinity that are timeless and we have seen repeat themselves through history, through historical figures, movie characters, and people that we all look up to as men. To first illustrate this, let's look at these 2 men. The first guy we're going to call Timmy. Timmy has a realization that he's not being the man that he needs to be. Women don't want him, other men don't respect him. So what happens? Timmy finds the red pill space on the internet. They're telling him, oh yeah, if you want to get that girl to like you back, you have to leave her on red and be disrespectful and show her that you care for her less than she cares for you. And it's so wildly different from anything Timmy has ever heard, so he takes this advice to heart. Because of this new mindset shift, Timmy becomes an asshole. He becomes arrogant. He starts showing the girls that he wants to be with that he doesn't really care for him because, oh, that's what the alpha males on the internet said. He becomes disrespectful and no high quality women actually want to be with him, and Timmy ends up regretting this. Alexander. Alexander is the most masculine man, but he's also kind. He's assertive, but not aggressive. He understands his emotions, but he also knows how to control them. Instead of pursuing pleasure every day, indulging in video games and instant gratification, Alexander focuses on his purpose. And because of all of this, Alexander is the ultimate man. So how can you become more like Alexander? That's what we are going to cover in this video. The first law of masculinity is chasing purpose and not pleasure. One of the main things that separates Alexander from Timmy is what they do on a day-to-day basis. You look at Timmy's routine, and what is he doing? He's staying up late. He's not going to the gym. He's playing video games. He's hanging out with low-quality friends who don't push him to be a better person. Whereas Alexander is delaying gratification. He's going to the gym. He's eating clean. He's focused on building himself and not chasing endless pleasure. Because one of the most important parts of being a masculine man is having a purpose. Think of James Bond. Think of LeBron James. Think of Michael Jordan. What do all of these guys have in common? Even though they're in different professions, James Bond and Michael Jordan. They both have a purpose. They both have goals. They both have something that they're extremely motivated to work towards. And that keeps them focused on the right things and delaying gratification. Because the truth is, do you think it's going to be easier for you to stay focused and do the right things and level up when you actually have a good reason to do it? Like, I want to be a pro sport player. I want to get into a good university. I want to build a business. Do you think that's going to be easier, or do you think it's going to be easier when you just say, yeah, I want to do self-improvement and I want to level up? Well, that's good. You want to do self-improvement and you want to level up, but you need to have a vehicle that's going to help you get there. You need to have something that your life is revolving around that forces you to be disciplined, because the guy who has a purpose, who has a goal he's working towards and actually takes action towards it, will always be in a better spot than the guy who does not. Everyone wants to be in shape. Everyone wants to have a girlfriend. Everyone wants to become their best self, but nobody actually wants to take the action. I had a clear shift in mentality in my junior year of high school. And the main reason I did that was because I said going into my junior year of high school, when I was going to start playing varsity football, that I wanted to play college football. And everyone called me crazy. Everyone said, oh, you're a junior in high school and you've never even played a snap of varsity football before. Like, why would any team want to take you on in college? But guess what? I didn't listen to the criticism. I didn't listen to the noise. I didn't listen to the doubters. I just put my head down and worked. I worked my ass off, became a starter going into my senior season, and I ended up playing college football. And then recently, when I was kind of feeling a bit purposeless, I decided that my next layer of my purpose was going to be to start educating young men, to start making videos, to start helping people out. So it's so much easier for me to be disciplined when I have other people I'm accountable to, when I have goals I'm accountable to. So instead of focusing on chasing endless pleasure and just wasting all your time away, focus on your purpose. The second law of masculinity is being humble and not arrogant. Let's think of the main difference real quick between when Timmy sees success versus when Alexander sees success. When Timmy finally sees some success, you see him posting about it all over his Instagram. You see him talking about it all the time. You see him actually putting others down in the process and telling them, hey, I achieved this, so I'm so much better than you. Do you think Alexander does that? No, of course not. When Alexander sees success, he's just chill about it. Yeah, I achieved my goals. He doesn't feel the need to go talk about it or to put other people down because he knows his self-worth. He knows that I'm supposed to be a winner, so I don't need to brag about myself. I'm supposed to win. It's supposed to happen. It's like whenever, the best athletes in the world, right? The LeBron James, the Patrick Mahomes, all those guys. When they win, you don't see them, talking about it on their Instagram story and calling other people out. No, because Patrick Mahomes and LeBron James are supposed to be the best. They're supposed to be the best in the world, so it's no big deal when they win. So I think that's the mindset that you need to have as a man. You should absolutely be purposeful. You should have ambition. You should, and it's okay to talk about your successes in a humble way if you're trying to educate other people or you're trying to help somebody out. But you never, ever want to be arrogant. You never want to have to put somebody else down to pick yourself up. Because this is one of the common toxic masculine traits that I see people talk about all the time. Oh, toxic masculinity. Oh, you're arrogant, toxic masculinity. But I don't think being arrogant is masculine at all. Think about James Bond, for example. James Bond, yeah, he's achieved a lot, but he's not arrogant. He doesn't, feel the need to tell people why he's so great. A true masculine man, he doesn't talk with his words. He speaks with his actions. So be grateful for what you accomplish, but always stay hungry. Always be striving for more. Never let your successes get the best of you and get complacent. The guy who is humble is always going to beat out the guy who is arrogant. The third law of masculinity is to be assertive but not be aggressive. I think a big reason why masculinity has such a bad rep is because it's associated with aggressiveness. Because you see all those podcasts where the men are having the women on and then they're yelling at them, oh, I'm a high value man and you're a low value woman. You see men, making TikToks complaining about women and just yelling and getting all emotional. But being overly emotional is not masculine. And don't get me wrong, as a man, you should always state your boundaries. You should not let other people walk all over you. If you're on a date with a girl and she's being disrespectful to you or she's being rude to you, yeah, you shouldn't tolerate that. You shouldn't keep treating a girl well if she's not treating you well. But there's a big difference between being assertive and being aggressive. You should always stand on business. You should always be assertive. But you don't need to yell at other people. You don't need to be aggressive towards them. So always state your boundaries, respect yourself, and be willing to walk away if you're not being treated the way that you believe you deserve to be treated. The fourth principle of masculinity is being a leader and not a follower. Recently, I had a big realization, and that is that most relationships fail. Most people are out of shape. Most people aren't living purposeful lives. So then why would I want to follow others? Why would I want to be like everyone else? So what's the point from that? Well, you have to be okay with going against the grain. If you hear everybody saying you should go out and you should get drunk every weekend and you should party and you should take drugs, well, maybe that's not the ideal life. Because if it's failing for everybody else, why would it work for you? Or if you hear everybody saying, oh, you should just play video games all day and just waste your time and just, oh yeah, life is short, so just have fun. But most people aren't striving towards success. Most people aren't fulfilled with their lives. So they're telling you all this. They're telling you, oh, you should be like me. You should be like everyone else. But if someone does not have a trait that you would want to take after, don't take their advice. If you don't agree with their belief systems, it's okay to disagree. It's okay to be different. Because the truth is, if you take the same exact actions as everybody else, if you do the same thing as everybody else, you're going to be just like everybody else. Sometimes you have to be okay with being the black sheep, being the one who stands out, being the one who's separated from the crowd. And that could look different for everyone, but be okay with being polarizing, with being yourself, with being authentic, with living your true life, not just always trying to please everyone, not trying to be like everyone else. Because if you try to please everybody, if you try to not step on anyone's toes and just be all conservative, and no one's going to actually respect you because you're not speaking your truth. So as a man, always be okay with standing out from the crowd. Always be okay with living to your true authentic self. And when I say this, I don't mean purposefully be disagreeable or purposefully be rude. That's not what I'm saying. Don't be an asshole. What I'm saying is, it's okay to be disagreeable. It's okay to speak your truth. It's okay to be yourself, because that's what the true masculine man does. The fifth law of masculinity is emotional control. Now, I see a lot of conflicting views on how a man should be with their emotions, so I'm just going to break it down what I think it should be like. I think as a man, it is completely okay and completely healthy to know your emotions, to talk about them a bit, and to be aware of them. I don't think suppressing your emotions and being, me masculine man, me no feel emotions. I don't think that's the right way to go about it, because you see so many men who pent up all this anger and then they never say anything, and then one day they just freaking explode. Think of, the aggressive father or the man who blows up on his girlfriend. I think a lot of that is because men suppress their emotions. So I don't think you should completely suppress your emotions and not acknowledge them. But, and there's a big but, I don't think that you should let your emotions control you, because there's a fine line. It's okay to feel your emotions. It's okay to acknowledge how you feel. Hey, I don't feel great today. I feel tired today. I don't feel like going to the gym today. But you still should always act on logic, Because if you always only do what you feel like doing, I don't feel like going to the gym today, I just feel like sleeping in and playing video games all day, you're not going to accomplish much. That's just the harsh reality. So you can't always be following your emotions and doing what your emotions tell you to do. Instead, you should use logic. You should have a plan. You should do the purposeful thing. You should do the thing that you know you have to do. You should go to the gym. You should eat healthy. You should work on your purpose. You should be disciplined. And then if you're ever in a moment where you're feeling a bit angry or where your emotions are getting the best of you, never, ever be aggressive towards others. So with that being said, the practical advice I want you to take from that section is feel your emotions, acknowledge them, but always do what's logical. Always take the actions that you know you have to take. And if you're ever in a situation where you're getting angry at someone, maybe your girlfriend says something to you that you don't agree with, and you can kind of feel yourself getting a little bit angry, just take a deep breath, walk away, let yourself calm down a bit, and then you can address the problem later when you're in the right headspace, because getting emotional, yelling, getting aggressive will never help you out. The sixth law of masculinity is self-mastery. As a man, every single day on a day-to-day basis, you should be taking steps to get better. I've noticed personally that my mental health is much better on the days where I'm working hard on my YouTube videos, where I'm going to the gym, I'm training hard, I'm not leaving anything in the tank. When I go to sleep at night and I feel that I left everything out there, that I didn't waste time, I was being productive. Well, everyone wastes time every day, but I was, for the most part, being very productive and I was sticking to my goals. Those nights, I sleep so much better. I feel so much better at the end of the day compared to the days where it's like, you know, I was kind of productive today, but I also played 3 hours of video games. I kind of trained hard, but I could have trained a little bit harder. That's always the worst feeling, okay? Not going hard on your goals. Always have something that you're striving towards every day. And you may be in a spot right now where you don't really know what that is. And that's okay, but you got to be taking actions to get there. You got to be going out and trying new things, finding your purpose, going outside and actually having fun, talking to friends, going out with girls, having fun experiences. Because just sitting around all day not doing anything, that's not going to serve you. So after this video, I want you to just take some time and think to yourself, what are my goals in life right now? What am I striving towards? What do I want to achieve? And if you don't know what that is, well, you got to figure that out, because that's extremely important as a man. And if you do know what that is, what actions am I actually going to take to get there? Because the truth is, a purpose, a goal, without knowing how you're going to get there is pointless. That's just daydreaming. Daydreaming isn't going to help you. Just thinking about having success isn't going to help you. You have to have a plan. You have to know, okay, if I want to get in shape, what do I have to do? I have to go to the gym 4 days a week. I got to eat healthy. I got to sleep. If I want to get a girlfriend, what do I have to do? I have to be kind. I have to be a gentleman. I have to become more masculine. I have to become a leader. I have to become more confident. And how are you going to do that? You're not just going to do it by not doing anything. You got to take action. So take time to figure out your purpose, journal about it, sit there and think, do whatever you do, because that's so important as a man. I'll see you for the next video, bro.